The number of Brits not working due to long-term illness has now reached a record high, with more than 2.5 million leaving the labour force due to health problems. Now, the Office for National Statistics blames an increase in mental health issues in young people and back and neck pain, possibly due to home working. It also says since the start of the COVID pandemic, there's been an increase in post-viral fatigue. Meanwhile, the UK faces labour shortages, with sectors from hospitality to nursing struggling to fill vacancies. I mean, I don't blame people, because basically the government is at fault once again. They frightened people to death in COVID, and many people actually reconsidered their entire lives. And people over 50 thought, well, actually, I may not be here much longer, so actually I'm going to take early retirement. I think 400,000 actually did that, and I don't blame them. And of course, what we've done is we've encouraged people to homework, and we've spoken about this. It's really important that you are with people. You have those water cooler moments, you talk.
And it's good for your mental health.
And it's really good for your mental health. And if you're cooped up at home, and many people have, you know, lots of family members where they're sitting at the kitchen table, they can't actually concentrate, everything's on top of them. What they need to do is to leave and do something and be with friends.
But the other problem with the over 50s is you can't get a job. I've got loads of friends who are over 50 who can't get arrested. They send in application after application after
There's some
application.
fruit-picking jobs going if they want.
There are some fruit-picking jobs.
Yeah.
But the point is they're told they're too old, and that people are always looking for something younger. So why should they go back to work?
The thing is, I think the pandemic changed the way a lot of people looked at their lives and also looked at how they wanted to work. And there is a lot of, especially younger people, who do want to get out, who do want to be back in the office, who would rather be working in an office, not a home where they're maybe in shared accommodation with a lot of people. But then there is a lot of people, parents and other people, who like to have the mix of being able to work at home, who like to have that mix of being able to do a couple of days in the office, a couple of days at home, be able to do
But these are
school
not the
pickup.
people who are off sick, though, are they?
No.
But this is the thing, is that those people might decide that they are not going to work, and then that might lead to mental health problems and the other thing. And remember that there's a lot of people who have long COVID as well. And that is affecting a lot of people, probably more than we know.
There's also a lot of people, you know, taking the mickey as well.
Because
the system allows you to.
But those were always there.
Yeah, but there's a lot more of them now, because now there's a lot more ways you can do it, right? Because you can say that you've got long COVID. Nobody can prove you haven't got it. And as somebody pointed out to me earlier today, I bet you'll find an awful lot of the people who are on this list of a couple of million are probably people who are getting paid to be off sick, either by the government or by their employers. One of the things that the Royal Mail said that was the reason why they were failing in their service was so many people were off sick. NHS has the same problem. You know, train drivers the same. Every public sector organisation has loads of people off sick all the time.
Completely agree with you. I think there's been a mentality shift in this country and our society for the last few decades, where when I was a kid, my parents were like, you're going to school, unless your arm's falling off, unless you're paralysed, you're going to school. And we're going to work 2 jobs because we need to pay for electricity. I think society's changed that, becoming softer, too soft. So it's, oh, my back, oh, I better not. I can't come in today or next week or the week after.
So we've done what we call reinforcing disease behaviour, which is essentially allowing people to do exactly what you're saying, which is, I've got a slightly bad back, oh, I can't possibly go in, I've got a sniffle, it might be COVID, I can't possibly go in. And so as a result of that, I think people have also lost maybe their confidence as well, because they're so used to being...
People saying they can't come into work because they're a bit anxious.
That's what I'm...
You know? And again, you can't really prove that they're anxious or not, but it's a pretty good excuse. And I'm not saying everybody who says they are anxious doesn't have a problem, but an awful lot of them don't, I think.
I mean, we shouldn't undermine people that do have genuine mental health issues and anxiety and depression, because that is a thing.
No, sure, but they're undermined by the ones who are pretending to have something wrong with them.
But I also do think there is a lot of people who, like David said, are losing their confidence, have lost their confidence, are probably worried about their mental health, leading to something else. They think that working is going to compound that, is going to lead to that, so they would rather just
well, if they
not
were told
bother.
if you
People
don't
are
work,
scared.
you're not getting any benefits, they might suddenly feel a lot less anxious.
But there's there's also, I think one of the other things is also, it is incredibly difficult to see a doctor. We all know that. We've seen all the practices closing. So if you do have anxiety, if you've got mental health issues, you really need to see a medical professional. Now, if you can't do that, you're going to get worse and worse, aren't you, in terms of your symptomatology?
It is almost impogenuinely is to see a doctor.
Because they're all on TV now, aren't they?
They all...
That's a very low blow, may I say.
Genuinely, I was with a friend the other day who said, I saw a doctor the other day, and everybody looked around and said, what, saw one or just spoke to one on the phone? Actually saw one face to face. We were all gobsmacked.
Nick my parking space at Tesco. Doctors.